3, 2,
That's just weird.
1. Welcome back to Pop Sports.
All right, welcome to another edition of Pop Sports with your hosts, Drew, Jerry, Alex, and Ray behind the glass. What are you guys doing?
We're making cool stuff happen.
All right, close enough. We're making cool stuff happen. Not our slogan, but hey, close enough. Jerry, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Well, piss off. Fellas, how are you guys doing? Oh, God, everybody sucks today. Holy crap. All right, well, today...
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you couldn't hear us. We're so good.
Oh, yeah.
How are you doing today, Andrew?
How
you know
are
what?
you,
I'm
Drew?
doing great.
No
I'm
one
doing
ever
great.
asks, how are
That's
you
true.
doing?
Thank you. You know, I'm 6 feet above instead of 6 feet under, so I am doing
better.
just fine. Thank you very much for asking.
Peachy.
But first, why don't we thank our lovely sponsors over here behind Jerry. We have, well, you can only see one of them, but whatever.
That's a good one.
So let's start with it. So first, Blake's Creamery and Restaurants, 2 locations located both in Manchester, home of the Dirty Water, Boston Blackout, Graham Central Station, my favorite. Check it out. Also have new flavors coming this summer, so keep an eye out for that. Definitely recommend it. Ice cream's phenomenal. You never go to another product after that. Then we have Bellman Jewelers, 1650 Elm Street, and the first floor, because at Bellman's, it's always a matter of trust. Check it out. Bellman's watch. Love it. Wear it every day. It's fantastic. Jerry also sporting a nice Bellman's watch. Great quality. Check them out. Great service. Yes. Bellman's, check them out. They're awesome. Bellman's, always a matter of trust. And King's Barbershop, located at 1650 Elm Street. Where, Jerry?
I believe the penthouse suite?
Well, I heard rumblings. But yes, I did hear the penthouse suite. So, prime location, great view of Manchester. Complimentary drinks. Matt does a fantastic job. Check him out. Go to King's Barbershop because they are a cut above is what they are. So, now it's baseball season.
About damn time.
Because when we release this episode, the first Red Sox game of the season will be played in Seattle.
Seattle.
And
11 days on the road.
That's going to be a rough
That
start.
sucks. I mean,
It
it's,
is,
it's
yeah.
Seattle, Oakland.
It takes the buzz
Yeah,
out
I
of
mean-
it, because they've already started playing, but they haven't played at Fenway yet.
I'm
it just
kind
kind of
of-
kills the buzz.
I am a bit okay with it, only from the standpoint of it's still cold in a lot of north regions. I'm okay with it going to warmer regions. Not Seattle, though.
Yeah.
I mean, mostly, like, if they were playing in L.A. or in Oakland or in San Diego or in some of the domes, I mean, that makes a lot of sense during these fringe wintry months.
Yeah.
But
It would have been cool to see Sox LA start the season against each
that'd
other.
be really cool,
right?
actually.
Do like a
Yeah.
3-game stint and then, well, I don't know. I don't like these long road trips before the home opener at a home stadium.
Yeah, it should be-
like a 3-game stint elsewhere and then come home and then figure it out from there. I don't like how it's 11
days on the road,
11-day stretch. Like, it kind of deflates the excitement when it comes
Mm-hmm.
back to Fenway Park because the season's already been going on for multiple games. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But, so that's starting up this
Beggars can't be choosers.
Thursday. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting. Their bullpen still looks like garbage, hot dog
Well,
shit. So,
But we're going to get a bit more into that and a few of the other positions that we think are still strong points, weak points, future, the works. And
Right.
some big contracts around the MLB were handed
yes.
around.
So first, let's take a look at this offseason because there are some major things at play here in the NFL. The NFL. We've been talking so much NFL lately that
It's a nice change of pace here.
Yeah. So in the MLB,
Yes,
there have been
that is-
crazy contracts going on
Yep.
that's completely changing the landscape of the sport.
Of MLB. I mean, seriously. I mean, some of these contracts that are being handed out are biggest in North American sports history.
Oh my God, it's absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, especially when you consider it's been some top-end players in baseball were reaching free agency, which we haven't really had since arguably, the A-Rod era.
Right.
I mean, Bryce Harper, Manny Machado, Mike Trout got a deal, Nolan Arenado, Dallas Keuchel and Craig Kimbrell are still free agents, but their markets are hopefully coming together.
Keuchel hasn't been.
Yeah, I know. That's a big one.
That's a very
an interesting
surprising one.
But again, these guys were reaching free agency, and they were initially greeted with a cold market.
Yeah.
Machado and Harper, they waited a long time to get their money.
They did. They waited like months.
And arguably, Harper got kind of screwed. I mean, I think everyone
Relatively speaking, once you see
Yes.
the Mike Trout signing,
Well-
but trust me, I am not shedding one tear for those guys with what they're making. Are you freaking kidding?
No, not at all.
Jeez.
Not at all. I'm just saying, if you're Bryce Harper, you're looking back at some of the contracts signed, and even relative to the one he did sign, it was less than what everyone thought.
He's still got the second highest contract in North American sports.
In terms of total money, yes. But it's still, he could have gotten more per year, which I think is what bothered me.
It doesn't bother me whatsoever. I don't even care because I
Bothered
think
me is a
all of
strong
these salaries
word.
are completely inflated
All right,
and absolutely asinine.
if we take that aspect out of it,
I'm so
if you're
biased
looking,
against this.
I know, but if you look at it from the standpoint of get as much money as possible, he messed up.
Oh yeah, he definitely did.
So, but before we get into that,
Well,
let's-
not really, because at the time he made the most out of anybody.
No, it was just the big number. It was just the 330. I mean, that was it. He never had the highest in terms of value. He never had the most per year, most guaranteed. It was none of that. It's just the fact that it was 330 million.
Oh, that was a sexy number though.
I mean, it's a big number. It went up to A-Rod, who signed 252 million, and then the next time he reached free agency, he hit 275.
Both of them 10-year contracts. That's
Yep.
so asinine.
Yep. Welcome to baseball, where you can do that.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's literally baseball and hockey. They have these ridiculous contracts where it's like
Baseball and
8
hockey.
years, 10 years. Yeah.
The
like
difference with hockey is
the lengths.
The
is
difference
what I'm
with
saying.
hockey is they come out sooner, and they last longer. Like
Sure.
at least in hockey, you get guys playing legitimately good hockey until they're 38. For baseball, these 10-year contracts, a lot of it is you're paying for the first 5 years. The next 3 years they're decent,
Yeah, you're
and the
basically
last
eating money
3
at
are
the end.
garbage, or 2 or 3, whatever it is. But you're paying for the early portion of that contract,
Right.
especially when guys usually hit free agency at 29. If they get an 8-year deal, the first 3 years is their prime.
Yeah.
Then it's a huge fade, and in baseball they drop off.
Yeah.
Once your athleticism goes, or whatever you have for athleticism, it gets tough to play defense, especially.
That's very true. But oh my god, these contracts are getting absolutely asinine.
So the reason why we say this is because Manny Machado signed for 10 years, $300 million for the lowly San Diego Padres,
Yeah.
which he got like right at
Hey, he's
his
getting
initial
paid.
starting point.
He's living in a nice area. Hey, good for him.
Yeah,
Jeez,
well,
even though he's just a scumbag. But,
He's not winning any titles in San Diego, I'll tell you that much.
he doesn't care.
That team is about 3 years from sniffing the division.
Well, he's going to be there for 10 years, so he's
Yeah.
got time to kill.
I know, and at 26, you can say in 3 years he'll be 29. He's still in his prime, but he could have signed. He could have re-signed with the Dodgers for something similar. I mean, would you rather play for the Dodgers or the Padres if the money's close?
I don't want to live in LA, that's for damn sure. So,
You're a pain in the ass. But the idea is these guys do want to live in LA or San Diego, and if they do, why are you going to San Diego?
hey.
Worst team, worst franchise, worst fans. I mean,
Yeah.
the one thing you can say about LA is they come out to the Dodger games. They always
That
fill
is
the
true.
stadium.
It's true. If you want the fame, you want to get a chance to win.
You want glory, you want the
Yeah.
the
So if they're going to
recognition.
offer you the same thing, yeah, you go to the Dodgers. Why not?
Why the hell? And Bryce Harper's the same deal. So Bryce Harper's contract is
For at
interesting.
least Philly, those fans are hardcore in all of their sports, at least.
That's fair. You can't say they're not diehards. But Bryce Harper
You can
signed.
call them a bunch of other things, but yeah, they are
Diehards is definitely a word.
It's a word. Yeah, yeah.
It's maybe 2, but it's the closest we can get.
That's true.
So Bryce Harper signed 13 years, $330 million for the Phillies. I heard that LA was willing to sign him for 4 or 5 for an annual value of like $45 million a pop.
Jeez.
So like, why wouldn't you do that for 5 years, re-enter free agency when you're still in your prime, and then get that 10-year contract and set
Yeah,
you up for life?
as long as you're still making the same annual value, why not?
But he would have been making so much more.
Right.
That's
But-
the thing is he's going to cap out at, I think, for a while outside of signing bonus and stuff. It's like 33-ish million a year, not considering signing bonus and stuff like that. It's about 33, which still isn't the most in terms of annual value. But that's besides the point. But he could have been making 10 million-ish more for the Dodgers over a shorter period of time and then gotten another big
I
contract.
don't know. He seems like someone that doesn't really give a shit too much. I think he just wanted the money.
Harper?
No. Oh, I thought we were. Oh, I thought we were still talking about Machado. Never mind.
Oh, no. Oh, Machado was in it for the money. That was
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Machado was in it for money, and he just wanted to sometimes play in a good market and
But yeah, Harper-
rake in money.
I mean,
Harper
yeah.
cares, though.
Harper,
I gotta
yeah,
say.
he should have done a shorter contract, bet on himself, and definitely still could have cashed
Harper
in.
can play. Harper is. Think about this. He signed that contract coming off of a down year for him.
Yeah.
By defensive metrics, he was average at best. By offensive metrics, he really didn't pick it up until the last couple months,
Right.
which buoyed all of his stats. I still think he finished under 35 home runs, under 100 RBIs. I mean, I don't think he hit
Guess it wasn't
300
that
either.
special.
I mean, this guy can put up MVP-like numbers, and this is the year he didn't, and he still got this contract. Want to know who did land a nice extension?
Mike Trout.
Fuck yeah, did Mike Trout
Holy
land a-
shit.
12 years, $430 million.
Oh my God.
That's the type of
That
contract.
guy is building a swimming pool worth of gold and just swimming in supermodels.
So
Like,
again, you go back to
just
the
get a full pool of supermodels. My God.
not with Mike Trout's personality.
Jeez.
If you've seen any interview of Mike Trout, he is the most vanilla person ever.
That's disappointing.
There's
Hey,
not
that's
much
not true.
personality.
He loves to fish.
Oh, jeez.
Get a little more vanilla, man.
Wow.
He has the
Loves
personality.
fishing.
He has the
There you go.
personality of
Sums
an
up a
80-year-old
perfect- yeah.
like Manila folder.
Sums
I mean,
up like
that's
the
it.
perfect baseball fan. Someone that is like 70 years old, retired, and likes to fish. He's
mean-
basically just attracting that market pretty much.
Yeah, but the thing is, though, is there is a lot of good. Like Bryce Harper has a really good personality. Baseball just doesn't market it because they suck at it. But like Bryce Harper is the type of guy I think they wanted to build around. It's just unfortunate that Mike Trout is the best player in baseball, hands down.
It's going to go to the best player. Like, I don't blame him at all.
No, I know that, but for baseball's sake, baseball could market Mike Trout if Mike Trout had half a personality. If he had half the personality that Harper did. Hell, if he had half the personality that Machado did, you could at least frame him as a villain.
Yeah.
Like the bad guy of baseball or like some bullshit like that and just go off.
He's essentially a guy
He is
on the
he's-
street, but on
Like-
the field, he's just like an absolute freak.
I've seen him in one commercial.
Breaking
and it's
news.
Just,
I have a Mike Trout commercial.
is it the one with Andrew Luck? I was just gonna make reference to this. You have to actually show
Luck.
people.
Yes, sir.
Wow, and even that looks ridiculously awkward.
Andrew Luck and Mike Trout wouldn't get into an outdated disco battle, so why would they choose an outdated sports drink?
We wouldn't.
They wouldn't. This is Body Armor, the
All right.
more natural, better
Ouch.
sports drink.
Thank you. That's
Thanks,
perfect.
Yes.
Gatorade.
The
that
reason why that's
completely
perfect,
sums it up because he looks so fucking awkward in
So,
that commercial.
The
Oh
reason
my
why that's
God.
even better is Andrew Luck is kind of awkward. Like he does kind of have a bit of a personality, but he's a pretty bland guy.
Yeah.
Once you hear him talk,
But like he was,
And
he was funny in that.
he looked like an unbelievably charismatic person next
Yeah.
to Mike Trout.
Mike Trout was just like,
Basic. Yeah, I mean,
it's like, what the hell is going on here?
so that's Mike Trout.
Oh man,
That's who he is.
This is Mike Trout.
Unfortunately, not.
that looks like the Jersey Shore reunion.
Unfortunately, it is.
Well, unfortunately, it's not him. Like, if he would at least talk half as much as that outfit looks. I don't know, man.
That's true.
Mike Trout just
That's a bad mamma jamma right there.
But that is your highest paid
boring-ass
player in the
Mamma Jamma.
sport, and
he is
you couldn't even pick him out of a lineup, probably.
Now, he is worthy of being the highest paid player in baseball. You want to get to actual dollars? That's a different argument.
No, please no.
He should be the highest paid player in baseball based off of his talent. He is. He's deserving of that. He's been an MVP candidate 4 years out of, I think, being in the league 4 years, 4 or 5. I think 4 of his 5 years he's an MVP candidate. He's got 2 wins. He's been a top 3 finalist, I think 3 straight seasons. He's legit.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's clearly him as the best player in baseball.
Yeah. But my
But
God, that money.
$430 million.
Almost
for him.
$500 million for
Breaking
a baseball
news.
player.
Is it real breaking news or just another commercial?
It is more important.
An interview.
It's in an interview.
Oh, jeez.
Lovely audio.
Yeah, he's
Audio's so good on this.
You know what? I think
he's
it's
got
doing
such a personality.
You know
It's
what?
like you don't even know he's talking.
For my family, my wife, big moment for us, knowing that we're going to be here for the rest of our life. I think knowing being an Angel for my whole career, I think that's pretty special for me, and it's
He's going to be an Angel for his whole career.
Dude, you just signed the biggest baseball contract in history. Have a little excitement. I'm doing a freaking podcast like this, and I have some excitement. Like, what is going on?
Obviously been,
Like, I would, if I got paid $100, I'd be more enthusiastic than I am right
Be
now.
freaking doing cartwheels or
Well,
something.
Oh my
just
God.
let our fans know that we're going to have a Patreon. It'll be $2 a month to support us, and they'll get special content for
That
that.
is true. Special
Nice
content.
plug. Patreon coming next week.
Yes, check out Patreon. It's cool
Yeah.
stuff.
Join us there.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
No, but seriously,
We'll still be on
you
Facebook.
got paid that freaking boatload. Not even a boatload. A
Show
cargo
something.
ship full of money. And the dude.
And you're on ESPN.
Oh my God! He
Like, that's not
literally-
local cable news.
It
Like,
looks
that's
like
ESPN.
It looks like you're talking to one of your relatives at a reunion that you never see and you don't know their name and don't want to talk to.
Yeah.
That's what that looked like. Oh my God! Have half a personality. No, just have a quarter, a smidge.
Show interest in
of
what you're talking
personality.
about.
It's like,
Just some interest.
yeah, it's pretty cool. It's good for me and my wife. We're
Oh,
getting
for the
paid
kids and
$460 million. It's really cool and exciting. Yeah, no shit, dude.
He talks like
Holy
Belichick,
crap.
but he talks like Belichick, but without like the insults and douchey edge.
Yeah,
that
basically.
make it a personality.
And you can actually understand what he's saying, but it's just like,
It's monotone.
why am I listening to you? Like, oh my God, this guy,
He'll be rolling in it. I mean, he will. But
dude, he could just. Oh my.
You know what
that
this
is just
contract does,
So
though?
much money, it's ridiculous.
as it pertains to the Red Sox, this contract sets a new bar for Mookie Betts.
Oh, he's a
who-
gonzo.
He has one more year with the Red Sox.
Gonzo.
And then he's going to reach free agency.
Yep.
And I don't. Apparently, the Red Sox were trying to get in some form of contract negotiations with him. He really didn't want to start doing that at all. But and it's clear. It's obvious why. I
Yeah.
mean, now the standard is okay. Mookie's going to turn around and say, "All right, I want 12 years, $450 million."
Stupid laptop.
Please
Sorry,
don't break
continue.
your laptop. So Mookie Betts is going to get paid. I mean, in next year, someone else is going to get a lot of money, and when that happens, it's going to be even more of a reason for Mookie Betts, the clear number 2 non-pitcher in all of baseball, to get paid.
And the Sox lowballed him. They gave him an offer in like the 200-something million range.
So the reason
So
why
now
that's
he's going to get blown out of the water.
the
with-
reason why that wasn't really a lowball offer is because it does buy out some arbitration years, which arbitration is essentially you have them under control for 7 years, and you have to negotiate a 1-year contract every single year. There's certain escalators you have to offer either the same contract as the year before or any form of improvement. Like if you offer year 1, they make $1 million, the next year they have to make at least $1.000,001. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And there's also like escalators. Like you can't go over 20% or something of the contract, like of an increase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Mookie Betts, I think, is coming off. I think he's making $25 million right now for the Red Sox. I think in his second to last year of arbitration. And the reason why that's significant is because those contracts that they sign before they're actual free agents buy out some arbitration years. So they can sign them for whatever and have a jacked up increase for the first couple years. So if he could only make $30 million his first year, they could offer him a contract where he makes 35, and it just guarantees it, so he doesn't have to go through the whole process.
Right.
So when they offered him that contract, he wasn't an MVP finalist. It was buying out 4 years of arbitration, and then the rest of his free agent years.
Oh yeah. So he's a gono. He's a
Mookie.
gonzo because he's gonna get so much freaking money. It's not even funny.
Mookie in that one picture
Mookie, before you
shows
leave,
my
buy
God.
your gold chain at Bellman's, please.
Mookie in
Plug.
that one
Nice
picture.
plug.
In that one picture, has more emotion than Mike Trout has in like every day of his 26-year-old life.
I was gonna say, yeah, he's not gonna have that sense of emotion in the 12-year contract that he signed. That's probably about the most emotion you're gonna get from
He
Mike
probably
Trout.
hit like a walk-off grand slam in the playoffs after that.
He's
and
probably
like
like,
just,
yeah.
"Ooh, guys, I did it." I mean, that's hard. That's him.
Yeah. Wow. Jeez. Yeah, but Mookie is gonna get. Oh
So
man.
vanilla.
You think he's gonna get 500 mil?
Mookie? So here's the deal. I actually think Mookie's going to end up signing for something really close, if not a little under Trout. I don't think he's going to exceed Mike Trout's contract.
No?
I think it's one of those things where everyone understands that Mike Trout is number one, And I think this is the ceiling. I think baseball is going to start to get a little more definitive on this. Like it took about 7 years for Machado to overtake A-Rod for the highest paid contract in baseball, and I think we're going to enter that right now. It's going to be 430 is the new cap. It's no one really wants to exceed that if you're an owner or GM
It's
or
just
anything.
fucking asinine. That is so much money. It's not.
Also,
it's ridiculous.
Any decline in baseball, I mean, their TV money is godlike. That's why they can make these
which
contracts.
is ridiculous.
But I think also players don't have as big a share in baseball TV money as other sports. That's why the contracts are bigger.
It's just it's
a thing. I'm not getting into
so
that.
ridiculous how much they get paid. It's not even funny.
But I think there's going to be a bit of Trout's that A-Rod number. Like when A-Rod signed that deal with the Yankees, he was clearly the best player in baseball. And I think Trout's that.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to kind of follow suit. So maybe Mookie gets close. Maybe he does even exceed it. But I don't think it's going to be more than 12 years, more than 430 million, more in annual value. I think it's going to that's
Somewhere close. Harperish maybe.
like if he gets
in between Harper and Trout.
Yeah, oh for sure. I mean, he's going to
Between
get
the 330 to 430 million
he's going to
range.
absolutely get more than Harper. Like that's not a question unless something insane happens. Mookie's been an MVP winner and finalist, Gold Glove, batting title guy his entire career outside of his rookie year. I mean, he's that.
Yep.
We don't have to worry about him making less than Machado or Harper for that matter. So, no. He's there. My big question before the contract was signed was Chris Sale.
Yep.
I was really worried about the Red Sox were going to do with Chris Sale because he's a free agent after the year, or was a free agent until he signed his contract.
Yep.
Which pays him.
5 years, 150 million.
Yep. So he's locked up next year. And do you think he'll eventually transition to a relief pitching role?
It wouldn't surprise me because he's been falling off toward the end of each season and just been tapering off. I mean, last year they were babying him the whole way in the second half, and he barely made it to the finish line.
He was like a hands down, no doubt Cy Young winner, and then he got hurt. And I think
He just can't stay healthy.
And it's like just so maddening. He's been a Cy Young finalist 7 of his 8 seasons in the majors.
That is just, it's ridiculous.
He's never won one, despite being probably the most talented pitcher in baseball. If not, he's up there with Max Scherzer is probably the only guy who can take it.
You know, this is similar to another episode we talked about. It's another guy like Sanders and Gronk where health. The guy is so freaking talented at his position.
Yep.
It's health is robbing him of so much more success that he could have.
He might end up becoming the greatest pitcher to never win a Cy Young.
And he is nasty.
His window's almost done for winning a Cy Young.
Well, you think about it. He's in his 20s too, and he still couldn't make it all the way through a full season.
He's 30.
Without tapering off.
I think he's 30 now. Maybe he just turned 31.
Right, but those 7-8 years, he was tapering off in the second half and falling
every
off
single season.
Every season.
Whether it was a slight decline in play or an injury, he never made it. And even when he first got to the Red Sox a couple years ago, he was throwing 100. That slider was incredible. He had another breaking ball and a changeup that just was amazing. He doesn't quite throw 100 anymore. So he's kind of really relied on that changeup, curveball, breaking balls to really change to more of a junk pitcher, I guess is what I'm saying. He relies on that more than his just killer fastball.
But yet he's transitioned
but it's
perfectly.
still amazing.
It's still wicked good. Oh, my God.
But it's not changing anything in terms of his longevity for a season.
Right.
And that's why I think... And he did... when he was a rookie, the one season he wasn't a Cy Young finalist, he was a relief pitcher when he first came in. So he has that ability to just jump right in and go. And we saw it in the World Series,
2 or 3 years, I could see him potentially switching. But he's someone I think that really likes to compete, and I don't think you could probably convince him to go into the bullpen.
Yeah, he is. He does have that kind of psychotic mind.
Yeah.
But what he does do is lock down our rotation for the next few years, having Chris Sale, David Price at the top of our rotation, and Nathan Eovaldi.
Yeah.
All locked up for the next few, at least next 4 years.
Well, do you like having 3 pitchers north of 30 taking up the majority of your
Eovaldi's 17.
cap space?
Eovaldi's only 17. For this 1 year, Porcello is making 25. He's a free agent after the year.
Which he'll be gone because of the
He'll-
contract and his age.
He'll either be gone or he's going to get a contract with us around
Cheaper.
Evaldi's.
Yeah,
17-ish.
which would be okay.
If we brought Porcello back for 17, I'd be cool with. And Eduardo Rodriguez, he's not making $6 million a year in arbitration yet, and he's a damn talented number 5.
Yeah.
So, if that's our starting rotation for the next 4 years, awesome. I'm stoked. That's exciting stuff. It's the bullpen that's concerning because we didn't re-sign Craig Kimbrell because everyone needed raises on this championship core team, and we don't have a for sure closer. Matt Barnes has looked really good in preseason, Grapefruit League action.
So
but
it sounded like they
how much
were
stock
thinking
can
of
you put
maybe
in that?
going with Brazier.
So Brazier got hurt at one point. He got an infection in his toe or something, so he kind of missed a lot of time to really grow into that role in the Grapefruit League. So I think Barnes kind of ran with it too. Barnes also been here a little longer. He's been in the system. He's looked pretty good too. If Barnes can hammer out some consistency issues he's had over the last couple of years, he'd be a really good closer. I'm just surprised we didn't go out and get anyone.
Yeah, seriously.
Right
I
now-
don't even think they tried to bite on anybody.
Didn't go after anyone. Like, we didn't add a single player.
And
to our
you're,
bullpen.
you're
Outside
port
of-
because you don't have anything coming down the pipeline either. You traded away all your prospects.
Outside of Jenry Maya or whatever, who is coming off of an indefinite lifetime ban from baseball for 3 failed steroid
Woo!
Yep.
Nice.
But he actually won his case and he signed with us to a minor league deal, so we could call him up. He was pretty good, Mets, I think. But I mean, I
not
don't.
a real glowing endorsement for Dave Dombrowski on this offseason.
No. So right now it's Barnes, Brazier, and then the third guy, the second setup guy, if you will, is going to be a competition of Tyler Thornburg,
If he's
Brandon
healthy.
Workman,
Yeah.
Heath Hembry, Stephen Wright, who is coming off a suspension for
Yeah,
80
he's-
games.
Suspension.
So, big knuckleballer can't do anything.
A knuckleballer taking steroids. Like, what the hell?
Yeah, what are you taking steroids for, buddy? You don't even look athletic. Like, what?
Yeah, seriously. Like,
Whatever.
what are you talking about?
So the only curveballs really are 2 guys who used to be starting pitchers, Hector Velasquez and Brian Johnson. Now, Brian Johnson has had a pretty bad Grapefruit League. He actually always does, but this one, you really wanted to see how he would develop into a full-time relief pitcher, because every year he starts off as a starter and then we just move him to the bullpen in the middle of the year.
That's going to mess with a guy, man.
It does. And he has flashed pretty well. He had like almost a no-hitter, I think, against the Yankees during the year when he started a game. Other than that, it's been very inconsistent. But between him and Velasquez, they've given some good innings, given some garbage innings. Overall, positive stuff, but not setup material. We don't have another setup guy, let alone a closer, because we lost Joe Kelly as well. Joe Kelly could have been that setup guy.
Yeah. Well, he also got paid through the nose by L.A.
Joe
Like,
Kelly got
jeez.
paid.
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Good for that guy, but not for that money, man.
No, I mean, I think he made, was it 3 years, over 30 mil? I mean, it's
Yeah,
like,
something like that. Jeez.
I'm not going to pay him that. I mean,
No.
especially when you consider our bullpen. I mean, I think Brazier's making 1.7 mil and Barnes is just over 2
Yeah, you're not paying Joe Kelly that money.
because we're paying everyone else. So another big concern is actually J.D. Martinez can opt out after the year.
Yeah.
Xander Bogaerts is a free agent after the year. You know, not to mention, you have to make a decision on Mookie Betts because Jackie Bradley's contract is still going up. Andrew Benintendi's is going to be going up for the next, 5 years. You have to make some big decisions. We still don't have a for sure second baseman because Dustin Pedroia is going to start off the year on the injured list. So he's not ready for game day action. It's going to be Brock Holt, free agent after the year, and Eduardo Nunez, free agent after the year. Not to mention we don't have any first basemen under contract next year. Both Mitch Moreland and Steve Pearce are free agents. There's a bit of a problem here.
And there's nobody in the system because I traded them all.
So there's a couple infielders.
Oh, man.
There's a couple infielders. Eric Chavez is a third baseman and first base prospect. So isn't Bobby Dalbec, but Chavez is probably good next year. Dalbec is a few years out, so maybe they can fill in, or maybe Chavez does take it. If not, Sam Travis is a guy in the system who's been up and down, but it's not promising. He's not exactly shown, hit the lights out of the ball or anything, so He's whatever.
Well, here's an interesting thing that I heard on the radio. One of the sports channels was talking about it. If you want to try and replenish some of your farm system, what if you think about trading Mookie Betts either now or at the trade deadline?
So this is a terrifying thing,
Right.
Mookie Betts is the face of the franchise.
You try and
Mookie
load
Betts
up
is a
your
superstar
prospect
player.
pool again
You-
because you're not going to keep them with the Sale contract now that they signed Sale. And
You-
like you said, all those guys coming up.
Could get an amazing haul for Mookie Betts. You could replenish your bullpen for the next. I mean, your bullpen, probably your bullpen and your farm system for the next 10 years. You'd be set.
You have to do it.
But the
You have to think long term.
You have to think long term, but you also have to think you're the Red Sox. You have the highest payroll in baseball the last couple of years, and probably in the future. You can pay through the nose. You can do it.
But they're not going to do it.
Before the Chris Sale contract, next year they're projected to already be at $152 million.
Yeah.
So add on.
So you get rid of Mookie. You don't have to deal with that contract. You load up your prospects, and then you are able to save money through those good prospects that you pick up.
So with Mookie, if Mookie were to sign a Trout level contract, and with Chris Sale's new contract kicking in, you're looking at almost $200 million there. Actually,
Yeah,
I think
which is
it's
why-
I think it's actually 185. So you have some room.
Well,
But
that's why
they're right
the
there.
Chris Sale contract essentially tells you that Mookie Betts is a goner. Because the Red Sox don't want to spend any more money.
No, I think Xander Bogaerts is a goner. I don't think that's a question. You can afford to find a defensive shortstop who's okay enough, but you have to make sure you get Betts. If that's the trade-off, I'm okay with it.
Well, I thought
If it's
they weren't
Bogaerts
going to
or Betts?
re-sign Sale or Betts, and they were going to put that money toward. I mean, I didn't think they were going to re-sign Bogarts or Sale, and they were going to give that money to
Mookie.
Betts. But now that you take $150 million off the table, I don't think Betts
Well,
is
you have
going
to
to be
look at
coming
it.
back.
You have to look at it annually. You have to look at it as more 30 than you do 150.
That's still long term. That's a lot of money.
It is, but I think there is ways to shed some contracts. So, Rusney Castillo next year is his last year that will affect your cap room. It's $14 million. Pablo Sandoval's $5 million is up after the year, so that wipes off almost $20 million. That frees up some more space in 2 years when Betts becomes a free agent. I think next year is going to be the tight year. It's going to be figure it out with the core you have and some random cheap options we can find. Or that's the rebuilding year. Maybe you do re-sign Porcello to a 3-year contract and you can flip him for a couple prospects next year. Maybe Eddie Rodriguez is a guy you flip. There's some options.
No, they have to do something to try and replenish that farm system because in the next couple of years, once some of these free agents are gone, you have a lot of glaring holes.
There will be some money opening up, though, as well. With Porcello coming off the books, maybe they just don't bring him back, and maybe his money can go to Betts. So there's a lot of options. But, and we're going to get into some things that they can do in the offseason this year still, and next offseason after the break. But we'll be right back.
Julie means more to me than anything. And I wanted to ask you, before I ask her, may I have your permission to marry her?
Is this some sort of a joke? A mall store ring? Don't disrespect my mother like that. Take that thing back and go to Bellman Jewelers.
Shopping for a diamond at the mall? Don't bother. Even a 9-year-old knows the difference. Shop at Bellman Jewelers, 1650 Elm Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. Because at Bellman's, it's always a matter of trust.
Love me some Sinatra. Love me some good Sinatra.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, old song, old classic song for an old sport. So, with
Keeping it retro.
keeping it retro.
Retro.
Hey, it's still alive, baby. Everybody loves Frank Sinatra. Come on. If you don't, there's something wrong with you.
Go home.
But with the Red Sox season starting off this week,
Yes.
Jerry, why don't you discuss what you think they should do for this upcoming week for the road trip with lineups,
Okay. So,
you know, strategies? What do you think? What do you think?
So, real quick, there's a couple injuries that they have to take into consideration. Dustin Pedroia is still hurt. He's on the injured list.
No,
so.
forget about him.
No,
forget about him.
he's going to play. He's going to miss about the first couple weeks, and
Forget
then
about
he's
him.
going to roll back in. So until he's healthy, him and his $13.125 million are going to ride the bench, while
Nice.
Brock Holt and Eduardo Nunez are going
Riding
to
the pad.
hold down the fort at second base. They're going to form a little platoon there.
That's not that
Brock
bad.
Holt will get the righties, and Eduardo Nunez will face the lefty starters.
I actually don't mind that. That's fine.
I don't, for a little bit. I mean, Holt's a pretty decent glove, but Nunez is pretty rough at times.
Yeah.
So I don't like him, defensively for very long.
I'm fine with the carousel between the two of them.
Well,
Yeah.
the issue kind of comes is you got to also have, you can't have Devers play every day at third base, and both guys were kind of used as his platoon partner at third.
Well, you also have Steve Pearson, who's the...
So Steve Pierce, but Steve Pierce is also hurt to begin the year.
Oh, jeez.
So you're really relying on Mitch Moreland for most of your first base reps.
Mitchie Two Bags.
Mitchie Two Bags. I mean, your outfield is pretty set. Benintendi, Bradley, Betts, locked and loaded.
And then you get
JD's at
Martinez,
DH,
yeah.
who's the fourth outfielder. Bogart's to short. You don't have to worry about that. Sale's getting the opening nod. I think it's
Which
going
I
to go
love.
Sale, Porcello, Evaldi, Eddie Rodriguez, and then David Price is going to get the fifth game. The reason why is because he's coming off a bad bug,
Stomach
like a
bug?
flu or a stomach bug or something. So he missed a couple of his reps to get back into game shape. So he's going to get the first game in Oakland, I guess. So Sale's going to get the first nod in Seattle.
Nice. All right.
Interesting news is they actually waived Sandy Leone.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty... Well, I don't know what his cap hit was, but...
It's not much.
Yeah,
It's
so I was
2.
kind of surprised.
So I think the reason
Well,
why
he's
is,
designated for AAA, right? But he hasn't...
so he has the option if he wants to be released to the free agent market, or he can accept the designation to AAA. So it's up to him, either free agents or he's going to Pawtucket. But no, the opportunity is now there for Blake Swihart, former top prospect, supposed to be this amazing offensive catcher. He's been shuffled around the diamond because he can play a little first, he can play a little third, he can play a little outfield.
He was playing like left field for a couple games
Playing,
last year.
actually, last year he played pretty well at left field too.
Yeah.
Well, he's fast. I mean, he's very athletic. So getting his bat into the lineup was a priority, and having him be the second catcher is really important. It keeps him at his most comfortable position, where he'll actually develop a rapport with some of these pitchers, which he didn't have late last year. And even in the World Series, he was having trouble catching Craig Kimbrell, which is not a good thing when that was your closer. So now, as the number 2 catcher and behind Vasquez, he's really locked into that, and I think that's where he's going to thrive. So that's the big thing. And I think our opening day closer is going to be Matt Barnes, with Brazier being the main setup guy. It's going to be a hodgepodge of guys.
Oh, it's going to be a hot
in
mess
between.
for a while.
I mean-
until they figure out what the hell they're going to do.
So
But
even if
I think it's going to be a mess.
even if Brazier and Barnes lock down
Like a
the 8th and
baby's
9th
very
inning,
diaper.
you do have Eduardo Rodriguez who goes 5 2/3, and he needs to come out in the 6th inning. So who's going to pitch the 6th and the 7th? Right now, it's a combination of Heath Embry, Tyler Thornburg, Brandon Workman. It's not good. We really need another arm back there. And I think that's the big issue right now is there's no everyday second baseman. There's no general health on the infield right now, which will fix itself a little bit when Pedroia and Pierce come back. And there's no 9th inning guy. No clear bullpen guy to really take either the 9th or a key setup role. And that's what we're going to look for. I think at the trade deadline, Dombrowski's going to go after an expiring contract, and he's going to try to fix that later on.
That would be fine as long as you don't have to give up much, because you literally have like nothing to give.
So with guys who are free agents at the end of the year, a lot of times you don't have to give up much. A lot of times, if you have a team that's out of the playoff picture, they're going to accept any prospect with any shot. And we do have guys who are decent prospects that we can give up for a rental. Like the Giants have a pretty good bullpen right now, despite being projected to miss the playoffs by a wide margin. Maybe we could get someone from them. Will Smith is a guy there. Yes, you can make the joke.
Hey, talented guy.
Really talented.
Does he get jiggy with it in the bullpen?
Biracial, too. So it works.
Oh, okay.
This Will Smith is very white.
Oh, maybe he's getting jiggy with it.
I mean, I would say either them or the Padres. are two teams to target. But Craig Stammen, I think, is their closer who's pretty good. But, other than that, I mean, there's not really many second basemen or infielders that are on the market right now. And, unless you want to go out and pay someone like Craig Kimbrell, this is the team we have.
I'd be fine with Kimbrel for like a 1 year higher contract. That's fine.
I'd be fine if it was like 1 year 15 or something. But
Yeah.
I don't think he's accepting that.
Yeah.
Kimbrel, I think, is dead set on getting a big money long-term deal.
Which clearly he is not getting. He's not getting a hint. Dude, get a hint. She
He
does
does.
not want to go out with you. Get a freaking hint.
So I heard
Jeez.
I heard the Braves and the Brewers were in on him.
God.
Both teams are playoff contenders. Both teams need a closer. They might pay through the nose because they're pretty young for a year of him. So I don't think they're going to give him the big contract he wants. But he's holding out for it. But anyway, that's essentially my starting lineup.
Yeah.
I hope to see Pedroia back. I do. I mean, I want to see if Pedroia can actually still play.
I forgot he was even a thing, so I'm not putting too much stock into Pedroia at all.
Yeah, I know. It's really going to fall down on Holt and Nunez. I guess a dark horse would be the kid Zue Lin.
Oh, jeez.
He's good on defense, and that's
I know,
about
but
it.
Just throw him in there every once in a while. Hey, I'm a big fan of partying like a Brock star. I love me some Brock Holt.
I love Brock Holt, but
I
man, he
love
can't play
Brock
every. He
Holt.
can't play every day. He's not an everyday guy.
No, he's not. But I hope it's him most of the time, and then switch in with Nunez and maybe Zue Lin or something like that.
So that's what I'm thinking it's probably going to be, and who knows? Maybe Dombrowski does have like a great trade that he has. He did bring in Nunez a couple years ago, and that's really worked out.
That actually did work
Steve
out really
Pearce
well.
really worked out. I mean, so he's not afraid to pull the trigger on someone, but someone that didn't work out was Tyler Thornburg.
Yep.
Who we gave up Travis Shaw for, who would be nice to play at second base at the moment.
Yep. That blew up in his face.
Yep. Travis Shaw and prospects. Don't forget, we gave up Travis Shaw and prospects for Tyler Thornburg, who has pitched a total of like 7 innings for us.
I didn't even think it was that high.
I think he pitched a little bit towards the end of last year.
Jeez.
But I don't think he made the playoff roster.
I don't think he did either. That's
So
ridiculous.
that's all you need to know.
Yeah, all that. Wow, talk about a bust. Jeez.
Yeah, that's a bust of a trade. He's a free agent after the year, too.
He's almost as bad as a GM as Belichick.
Well, at least some of his paid off.
Yeah, freaking Belichick and his GM bullshit.
Well, anyway, some free agents are coming up, too. I mean, mostly Holt, Nunez, Moreland Pierce, potentially JD Martinez, Rick Porcello.
Oh, so half the team, pretty much?
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Next couple of years will be an interesting rebuild.
Oh, awesome.
And maybe they will explore a trade for a big-name guy. Maybe Jackie Bradley gets moved. That'd be a guy you could probably get some prospects for.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you wanted to-
You need to reload with prospects.
Yep. Oh, yeah. And they probably won't because that's the Boston way.
Yep, sounds about right.
Well, anyway, this is going to conclude another episode of Pop Sports.
That it is.
Joe, you have any final thoughts on the day?
Hey, I mean, we'll revisit the Sox. We'll see how they do this first week. Maybe touch on it next week. But hopefully they start out strong.
Yeah.
Nice to see the World Series champs. Be exciting to see them back at home next week at some point.
Yep, I think it is either the 11th or the 13th is their banner raising ceremony.
Oh, wow, that's a long... See, this is why I hate that they're starting on the West Coast so long.
I know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, on that note... we
Alex, do you
are
have any
out.
thoughts? Probably not. Maybe so. Just waving goodbye. Okay, bye, Alex. All right, that's all we got.
All right, thank you.
Nice formal exit. See you later.